Good morning students. I am Professor Rajeshwari Sharma. Welcome back to e-learning session of GS College of Commerce, Wardha. So, in our previous lectures, we have started with the chapter Infrastructure and Transport System in India. So, there we have seen the meaning of infrastructure, advantages of infrastructure and the classification of infrastructure. Then we have shifted to transport system in India. So yesterday we have discussed the meaning of the transportation system in India and its importance. Today we are going to discuss different modes of transport system. So as you all know, when we talk about the modes of transport system, so it is basically of three types: road transport, water transport and the air transport. And when we talk about the road transport, so it consists of two types, that is railways and road transport. So we will start with the railways. See, when we talk about the railways in India, so Indian Railway is the fourth largest railways in the world, and it is the largest in Asia. And if I share a fun fact with you, so it is that collaborative speed of all trains that is covered in India is equal in a year is equal to the 4 rounds of moon. That is one of the fun facts. So by this you can judge the efficiencies of railway, and you can see what is the importance of railway in the trade and the services in the economy. Okay, so now we will see the advantages and the disadvantages. So as far as the railway is concerned, so it has started in India in year 1853, and when it started, it used to be owned by public sector, but during recent period, some up to certain extent the private investment has been allowed in this sector as well, but still it is not completely privatized. Major share in this sector is owned by government, so it is a public sector unit. So now we will see the advantages and the disadvantages. So first advantage of railways is convenience. See, when we talk about the railway as a mode of transport, so it carries passenger, it carries goods to the long distances, right? And when we talk about the convenience, so when you are transporting the bulky goods which are cheap but high in quantity, so in that case the railway is more convenience as compared to other means of transport. The second one is time. If I'll ask you a simple question, if you go to the Nagpur by way of using your own vehicle like bike or car, how much time it takes? So your reply will be 2 hours, right? Or it can be more if there is traffic or something. But if I talk about the railways, so if it is a super fast train, so it will take 45 minutes, and if it is like express, so it will take if I talk about the most time, so it will take 1 hour and 15 minutes, not more than that. So by this we can judge, we can conclude that the time which is taken by railway for delivering the goods and services, or for making the customers to reach their destination, is low as compared to the other modes of transport. The next one is efficiency. See, when we talk about the efficiency, so efficiency is whenever you are transporting some goods or services, some goods by way of using the railway as the means of transport, so your cost is generally low and the goods are safe. Okay, so in that term, railway is more efficient in terms of transportation as compared to the other means of transport. As well as the other point over here under the efficiency is, if you're talking about the air transport, so it gets impacted by the weather change. It gets too much impacted by the weather change. But if you're talking about the railway, it also gets impacted, but that impact is less as compared to the road transport, or the as compared to the road transportation ways or the air transport. Therefore it is more efficient. The next one is economical. If you are going to Mumbai from Wardha by way of using your own four-wheeler, that is car or something, or travels, so your cost will be higher as compared to the cost of railway ticket, right? So by this we can conclude that even though for carrying the goods and services, if you are using other mode of transport like trucks or something, so your cost will be high as compared to the railways. Therefore it is economical as compared to the other means of transport. So these are the advantage. Next one is time. So again, it takes less time as compared to the other modes of transport, as it's faster than the other modes of transport. Its speed is more than the other modes of transport. Therefore, it is less time consuming. Okay. So these are the advantages of railways. Now we will see the disadvantages. Inflexible. Now, what is mean by inflexible? Which is not easy, which cannot be changed easily, right? Which cannot be suited to all the situation. Like if I want to go to Mumbai from Varda by my own vehicle, so I can decide my own time, right? I can decide my own time. I can leave by 10 o'clock. I can leave by evening or by morning as it is suitable for me, right? But if I want to go by train, so I will have to follow the schedule which is devised by them only. So in this sense, it is inflexible as compared to the other modes of transport. The next is loss of lives and goods. See, as we all know, the carrying capacity of railway is more than the other mode as compared to the other modes of transport. If I talk about the car, so there may be 4 or 5 people, but if I talk about the passenger train, so the passenger carrying capacity of railways much more higher than those cars, right? If I talk about the goods and services, so the goods and services which is being transported by the trucks, so it's going to be low in the quantity. But if I talk about the goods that is being transported by making the use of railways, that would be of course carrying higher quantity of the commodity whichever is being transported. So when there is going to be any accident, when there is going to be any accident, when the train will meet any accident, so the loss of life and goods would be in higher extent, as it carries the goods at higher proportion and the passenger carrying capacity of railway is also high. The next one is speed. See, in advantages I have told you that it consumes less time, and in disadvantages I am saying speed. So how is it possible? Speed means if you are talking about the railway, so those train wagons needs to be changed. The wagons that have reached the destination needs to be derailed from those trains, and the different train wagons which are which will be used for traveling the different routes needs to be readjusted. So it takes time, and therefore it can be said that speed, and it takes too much time, and therefore it can be said that the speed is one of the disadvantages of railway. The next one is packaging cost. When you are transporting your product by use of railways, so there is more chances of getting your product damaged due to the improper routes, due to the different conditions. Therefore you need to spend much cost on packaging of your product so that it can reach the destination safely and undamaged. So in this way your packaging cost is going to be high if you are using railway as a mode of transport, and therefore the high packaging cost is one of the disadvantages of railways. So here we are done with the railways as mode of transportation. Now we will see the road transport. When I talk about the road transport, so what is actually the road transport? Like bus, trucks, autos, two-wheelers, etc. So all this comes under the road transport. And when we talk about the road transport, so it is the most common means of transport that is used by everyone in their day-to-day lives, that is used by business, and that has contributed to so much extent in terms of industrial growth, in terms of transportation. You must have heard about the Bharatmala project that has been launched by the National Highways Authority of India for constructing 65,000 kilometers of of national highways. So why they are doing it? They are doing it in order to improve the connectivity. They are doing it so that road transport can be strengthened. So now we will see the advantages of road transport. Door to door services. See, even though you are using the railway as a means of transport for carrying your goods or services from one place to another place, like from Mumbai to Wardha, still for making it available to the destination of a trader or making it available to the customer, you have to use the road transport, like you have to use either tempo or you have to use the two-wheelers or four-wheelers, because railways cannot directly reach to your home, isn't it? So door-to-door services is possible only through the means of road transport. Like you must have seen, you must have done online shopping, right? So in online shopping, what happens? The courier is your trader may be located at another region or another city or another district, and your product may come from another district. So in that case, still the e-commerce companies gives you home delivery. So how it becomes possible? It comes to their facility in that particular city, and then the people who are working in that facility makes the product available to the customer's destination, customer's house, by using the means of road transport. So in this way, road transport facilitates door-to-door services. Then flexible services. Like I have given you the example under the railway. If you are using train for carrying your goods and services, so time will be pre-scheduled, means there's going to be schedule that you have to follow. If you want to travel by some place by using train, so you have to use the schedule which is already devised by the authorities. You cannot choose your own time. But instead of using the railways, if you are using your own vehicle, your own car, for traveling certain distance, for traveling certain place, so you can have your own time, you can go according to your convenience, right? So in this way, road transporters provides flexible services, then suitable for short distance. Suppose you want to transport something from Wardha to Mumbai, so it's a long distance, right? So if for this purpose, if you are going to use the railway, so it will incur it. So it is a long distance. If this purpose, if you are going to use the road transport, so it will incur more cost. But if the distance is less, like you want to transport your goods from Wardha to Nagpur only, so the distance is short. So in this in that case, you can use the road transport as well, as it is a short distance, and along with that it will provide you the flexible facilities, like you can decide your own time, etc. So this is one of the advantages of road transport. Then lesser risk of damage in transit. See, whatever the goods are transported by using the road transport, they are not bulky in nature. The quantity of goods are less as compared to the railways while using the road transport. Or when we talk about the passengers, so when you are using the cars or your own car or buses, so the number of people who are carrying capacity of these buses or car are generally lower as compared to the railways. So whenever it will meet some accident or some uncertainty occurs, so in that case there will be less damage. Okay, so lesser risk of damage is there while using road transport. Then under the disadvantages, we have lack of organization. When you talk about the fare of railways, so there is an authority to decide those fares. But if you are going to talk about the fare of travels, so there are different services, there are different companies which are charging the different price. Means in this sector, in road transport, there is no particular organization, there is no particular authority to decide the different rules and regulations for road transport relating to fare, etc. So this sector is undependable and irregular. Therefore, there is lack of organization in that sector. Then we have unsuitable for long distance and bulky goods. As we have seen, it incurs the high cost when it is a long distance, and it is also of seasonal nature, therefore it is unsuitable for bulky goods, and it is unsuitable when the distance is long. Okay, the next one is seasonal nature. See, now what is meant by seasonal nature? If I talk about the railways, so even though it's raining and the roads are filled with the water, still railway would not be impacted to that extent. But if I talk about the flood, there is a flood, and due to that there is a flood or there is a heavy rain, because of which some area has been completely filled with water. The roads have been jammed in that area. In that situation, the road transport will be affected to the high extent. It might get hampered. It might consume so much time to come back to the normal state. So therefore it is much impacted by the uncertainties in the season. Therefore it is seasonal nature. Then is slow speed. When we talk about the road transport, so it is slower in speed as compared to the railways or air transport, so which is also one of the disadvantages of road transport. So in today's lecture we have seen the railways and the road transport as the means of transportation. In tomorrow's lecture we will see the water transport and air transport. So till then, keep studying, stay safe. Thank you.